As indigenous people, we have lived the land, worked the land. We have very close connection with the land. One of the four ideology of teaching is the land is important. That's what feeds us. That's what helps us survive from the land. And so the ancient people that lived here before us, we call them Archaeological. Used to say, don't go to these areas. Don't take anything from that site. And when you come back, if you accidentally go to that area, you have to get smudge to clean off all the, could be death disease, could be something that shouldn't be around human being. That's why we smudge ourselves.
Well, for me, the way I look at it when I should come upon a ruin, I would say my blessings first to protect myself, so I won't bring it into my vehicle or bring it home with me. I learned to have respect for when I come upon a ruin. I bless myself, not only me, but the people that are here. I pray for them too, so you guys will be safe and be protected. And once we leave, the wind will blow everything away. So it's like the Creator will cleansing us.
Way back when I was a little kid, my aunt has a ranch. And elders are on back in that time, 1950s. They say, "Nchong, dokona dada, bewitzik. It's dangerous. Don't go there." And they explain why. You don't touch the tools or the artifacts or the elements, even human remains. You stay away from it, leave it alone. Because it's going to harm you, yourself or either your family in a different way. I was taught that when I was a young kid. In 1939, we had a grant, federal grant, that's called CC Camp. That was, it was used, that fund. And we had our own Apache people that were hired to do work at Kinishba, to restore it. That happened because Apaches didn't have any jobs. The only measly job that was there was that, as laborers for our people at Kenyan Day. And they know the danger of it. They know back then our ceremony was still intact, practiced daily. So the medicine people, the smudge, the people that work there, prayed for them. Make sure that they're protected, because they need to eat, they need money, they have to be there. They just didn't rush in there, They have to be prepared with prayers. Like I've said often, when we do things, we do it with a prayer. Every time you do things, you do it with a prayer. All the things that were done on the site, artifacts, everything, even human remains, and that were buried there, that's for a reason, And if anything is taken, it destroys our way, our laws. The old Apache thinking is that you leave it as it is, leave it alone. Just hands off. It was meant to be, and it's going to be destroyed naturally, from natural cause. If you go to someone's house, you just don't barge in. There's protocols of what you need to do. You either, announce yourself, knock on the door, tell you're welcome, kind of thing, you know.
Like Ramon says, you know, they just can't walk in there. They can't just barge in there because there's people that live there.
You know, first of all, we come out here, we kind of assess, but going back to, the blessing and the project kind of blessing, it's like Mae talks about, it's something that's necessary, it's for protection. Ramon got into kind of death disease and how that does affect us, and we're taught to avoid sites and not really go back to them unless we kind of need to. But starting off with that ceremony or that prayer is so critical because it sets the tone. It creates balance right away. It allows us to come in with a good heart, a good mindset, and it protects not only Apache folks, it's everybody involved, and it's for in the community. You go home to your families, it ensures kind of protection for everybody. So that alone is a method that I think we need to always push forward in terms of that kind of community-based protection of our Apache folks and other folks who are working with us. I practice my cultural protocols the best of my abilities. I mean, I've felt the effects of not being prepared and approaching an open looter hole and trying to, just go in as an archaeologist and right away just collect things and make sense of it. But I've seen that come back on me because I didn't approach it in the right ways, in terms of touching human remains. Like Ramon says, we need ash, we need pollen to, really, but that's only my fault because I was naive at the time and I didn't know. I wasn't taught these ways yet of how to protect myself. It's hard to, I guess, for folks to see that this stuff can, really affect folks beyond the reservation and, and to enter other realms of the world. And so, but how do we achieve, going back to balance and harmony, how do we keep striving for putting forward, the types of things we need to do to protect the world? I mean, even little things can really have big effects, I think, on the reservation. So.